Hello, ai nghe được giọng mình nói không? Hello, ai nghe được giọng mình nói không ạ? Hello, mọi người nghe được không ạ? Có ai nghe được không? Nghe được, ok. Ờm, cái gì ta? Ờ, hum. Hello brother. Hello brother Hạnh thì nghe nó có vẻ cái tiếng Anh thì nghe hơi lạ lạ hay sao ấy nhỉ? Ok. Cái gì này giọng em chắc là một tuần trước thì anh bị cảm cúm sổ mũi cho nên là nghe giọng nó sẽ khàn khàn ngạt ngạt lè nhè gì đấy, chứ còn bình thường hôm nay thì nghe giọng sẽ bình thường hơn thôi. Hôm nay là chưa đỡ hẳn đâu, nhưng mà anh nghĩ nó cũng khá là ổn rồi. Thôi không đến mức thế. À thế à? Hình như bạn bạn Nhân Nguyễn vừa chat tiếng tiếng Việt xong đấy đúng không? Em ơi, bạn bạn Nhân Nguyễn đang đang chat tiếng Việt kìa em kìa. Nên thôi em mở đầu phong trào đi. Em mở đầu phong trào thôi. Thực ra anh không nhận xét anh là người nói chuyện hay đâu, anh thấy anh nói chuyện bình thường mà. Ờm, nhưng mà thực sự là nếu như mà có một cách gì đấy để theo em nghĩ là khả năng nói chuyện ấy, cải thiện khả năng nói chuyện thì em phải đọc nhiều sách vở, nghe nhiều những cái không phải là nghe pháo với cả virus với cả ngọc kem đâu, nghe cái đấy thì nó không tăng khả năng nói chuyện, thì cả đu chen được vài câu thôi. Nhưng mà ví dụ như em thể đọc truyện này, đọc sách này, đọc những cái tác phẩm văn học nó nổi tiếng một chút. Ờm, rồi sau đó thì em xem tivi. Thực ra những cái gì mà kiểu như lúc nào mà anh muốn tạo không khí nó vui vẻ, hoặc lúc nào anh muốn tạo ra một cái gì nó buồn cười một chút ấy, thì anh thường nhớ đến mấy cái mà anh từng nghe ở trong mấy cái gặp nhau cuối tuần ngày xưa. Cái lúc mà hồi anh còn bé anh xem tivi thì thực ra các cái chương trình hài, tiểu phẩm hài, thời anh còn bé, cái lúc anh học cấp một cấp 2 á, thì nó chỉ đến từ tivi thôi, nó chỉ có trên tivi thôi. Cho nên là anh đã từng làm hướng dẫn viên du lịch khá là nhiều lần rồi. Có cả hồi đấy anh có nộp đơn xin vào hồi đấy anh có nộp đơn xin vào cái Hà Nội Private Tour Guide nữa. Cái đấy cũng cái đấy anh cũng được nhận rồi. Anh qua bài test các thứ anh qua hết rồi, nhưng mà sau đó thì anh vướng cái đợt đi thực tập ở Anh cho nên là anh cũng không đi. À, nếu như mà gọi là em muốn mà nói chuyện nó trong trẻo mượt mà ấy, kiểu như là gọi sao nghe cái lời nó không khô cứng lắm ấy, thì từ anh nghĩ là đọc truyện có lẽ đọc truyện Nguyễn Nhật Ánh là khá là ok. Tất nhiên là cái này tùy gu chuyện từng người. Đừng có gu chuyện ngôn tình nhé, đừng có lại gu của em là diệp lạc vô tâm, ai hiểu được lòng em, nụ hôn của sói, gì đấy thì thôi, cái ngôn tình thì đừng. Nhưng mà ví dụ anh thấy là cái chuyện Nguyễn Nhật Ánh là một trong những câu chuyện có thể là về mặt nội dung, về mặt về mặt cốt truyện, về mặt phong cách thì tùy người. Có thể có người không thích những cái chuyện trẻ thơ như vậy, anh thì thấy rất là thích. Anh thấy là cái câu chuyện, nhưng mà những cái thứ mà cái cách ông ấy lột tả về tâm trạng nhân vật, về tâm lý, cách ông ấy tả văn tả cảnh các thứ nó rất là tốt. Cho nên là nếu như mà kiểu như là mình đọc những cái cuốn truyện như thế, và mình chỉ cần ấn tượng một hai câu thôi. Tất nhiên em đọc cả cuốn truyện trăm trang, làm hàng vài trăm trang làm sao em nhớ hết được, nhưng em chỉ cần nhớ được một vài những cái câu hay ở trong đó thì nó cũng sẽ giúp cho em cái chuyện nói chuyện nó rất là nhiều. Sherlock Holmes được chứ, Sherlock Holmes được chứ em. Thôi đợi tí tí nữa anh chuyển sang tiếng Anh sao. Mainly mà trời ơi, giờ mới có 8 phút, mới có 8 phút đầu tiên, đây đang là phần khởi động. Chu tiên là cái gì? Thì khi mà đọc Sherlock Holmes hay chứ em, nhưng mà nếu em đọc được Sherlock Holmes ở đây thì chắc là thường đọc tiếng Việt đúng không? Anh thì căn bản là anh cái phần mà khoản mà xem phim tiếng Anh với cả đọc truyện tiếng Anh thì anh dở lắm. Anh chả làm được mấy cái thứ đấy. Kiểu có những người bảo với anh là muốn luyện kỹ năng nghe tiếng Anh thì tốt nhất là nên xem phim tiếng Anh với cả hay là đọc những cái tác phẩm bằng tiếng Anh ấy. Nhưng mà cái thứ đấy nói thật là anh không đọc, là không làm được. Không làm được theo kiểu là mình gần như là mình nghe mình đọc những cái xem phim tiếng Anh mình chả hiểu cốt truyện gì cả, toàn phải lên mạng search lại cốt truyện để đọc lại từ đầu. Thành ra là cái việc thưởng thức bộ phim rất là chán, nên là tất cả cái việc đọc văn thì anh chỉ đọc tiếng Việt thôi. Thì đọc Sherlock Holmes hay mà. Đọc tất nhiên là nếu như em đọc được những cái tác phẩm kinh điển kiểu như là đồi gió hú này, hay là cái gì cuốn theo chiều gió cuốn theo chiều gió, hoặc là của nước ngoài, hay là những cái tác phẩm kinh điển ngày xưa ấy, thép đã tôi thế đấy, những cái kiểu đấy. Thực ra thường với rất nhiều thầy cô giáo thì cũng ngày xưa anh cũng được khuyên là kiểu nên đọc những cái tác phẩm kinh điển như vậy, thì cái thế giới quan của mình, những cái kiến thức về xã hội và cái cách để em giao tiếp văn thì ấy. Robinson Crusoe á, được, ok, được, sao không được. Anh có nghe nhạc ngọt không á? Ngọt anh nghe được. Weibo chắc chắn là không rồi em, anh chắc chắn là không phải Weibo nhá. Nhạc ngọt thì chắc chắn là anh từng nghe vài bài của Ngọt rồi, nhưng mà chính xác hơn ấy là ngày xưa nếu như anh có nghe trúng vào bài của Ngọt ấy, có thể anh ấn tượng bài đấy nhưng anh chả nhớ là cái bài đấy là của ai, và anh sẽ không ấn tượng về chuyện bài đấy là bài của Ngọt. Chỉ từ sau cái vụ thắng Ngọt thì anh bắt đầu để ý đến cái tên Ngọt nhiều hơn, thực sự là như thế. Chứ còn ngày xưa thì không. Chắc chắn là không đâu. Chu Tiên nghe như kiểu như là sao, Chu Tiên là cái gì, cái con mà cái này anh cũng không biết nên là giờ không biết nói làm sao. Nghe như kiểu để thực ra là chuyện kiếm hiệp gì thì mấy cái kiểu kiếm hiệp này thì các bạn là nếu em thích thì em cứ đọc thôi, anh nghĩ là nó không có gì xấu cả. Thì kiểu em thích mấy anh thì không có gu mấy cái chuyện của Trung Quốc, mấy cái em chuyện về giã sử các thứ Trung Quốc thì không. Nếu được chọn lại thì em sẽ không học CS, chuyển sang học các ngành văn học á. Cũng có thể đấy là một ý tưởng tốt. Ngày xưa anh từng làm hướng dẫn viên du lịch, em có thể, thực ra là bây giờ em vẫn có thể chuyển được mà. Em muốn công tác ở trong những ngành thiên hướng xã hội một chút thì em hoàn toàn nhiều lựa chọn. Ví dụ em có thể thử làm hướng dẫn viên du lịch. Anh không biết là em ở đâu, nhưng mà ở Hà Nội thì anh thấy có mấy cái câu lạc bộ Hà Nội Tour Guide với Hà Nội Free Tour Guide các thứ ấy. Ngày xưa anh ứng tuyển cả rồi mà. Thì anh thấy là đấy, kiểu sinh viên thì nếu như mà còn sinh viên thì hay ứng tuyển mấy câu lạc bộ đấy thì đi làm nó có trải nghiệm. Cái trải nghiệm hướng dẫn viên du lịch hoặc là trải nghiệm tham gia những cái hoạt động, những sự kiện lớn ấy, thì nó sẽ thì nó thực sự là rất là hay. Ví dụ như là anh nghĩ rằng đối với tất cả các bạn sinh viên ấy nên thử một lần trong đời tham dự tiếp sức mùa thi chẳng hạn. Mặc dù anh ngày xưa chưa đi tiếp sức mùa thi lần nào, nhưng anh nghĩ là cái trải nghiệm tham dự tiếp sức mùa thi nó là một cái trải nghiệm rất là hay. Và nếu có thì các bạn nên thử một lần. Có thử lần thứ hai hay không thì chưa biết nha, nhưng mà nên thử ít nhất một lần đấy. Những cái mùa thi tốt nghiệp, những mùa thi vào cấp 3, thi vào chuyên chứ các thứ, các bạn thể làm, nên làm tiếp sức mùa thi. Nó là một cái sự kiện nó hay, nó ý nghĩa. Lên đại học hoặc là những cái mà phải đi những cái vùng quá là vùng sâu vùng xa các thứ thì nó sẽ còn tùy vào điều kiện của từng người. Ví dụ như em có hợp với vùng núi, nếu em không hợp với vùng núi mà bây giờ cho em đi lên núi chẳng hạn thì nó cũng không hay lắm. Thì cho nên những cái mà phải đi đến những cái khu vực nó quá là khắc nghiệt thì nó còn tùy thuộc vào khả năng của từng người. Thì cho nên là Cho nên là khi mà em làm những cái việc đấy thì có thể nó hơi khó, nhưng mà những cái câu chuyện về tình nguyện này, hoặc là tham dự những cái sự kiện lớn ở mà mang tính xã hội, những cái để mở rộng sự giao tiếp ấy, anh thấy những cái đấy nó rất là hay. Và lên đại học thì nên có những cái thứ, nên có những hoạt động kiểu như vậy. Ngày xưa thì anh có may mắn là anh đăng ký vào ứng tuyển mấy cái, có nói chung là đầu tiên là anh có làm tình nguyện viên cho Olympic sinh học quốc tế. Cái năm, đúng cái năm mà thi IBO Olympic sinh học quốc tế ở Việt Nam ấy, thì năm đấy anh ứng tuyển làm tình nguyện viên thì anh được nhận. Thì anh thấy đấy là một trong những cái thành công khá là lớn. Xong có một năm anh còn được đi làm cái gì cho bảo tàng dân tộc học ấy. Bảo tàng dân tộc học nó có sự kiện Tết, xong rồi năm đấy anh cũng ứng tuyển đăng ký làm tình nguyện viên. Thực ra là anh ứng tuyển 2 năm xong trượt mất 1 năm, hơi buồn cái năm trượt đấy. Về sau thì hơi bận quá thành ra không đi được. Cái kiểu kiểu đấy thì nó có những cái đấy thì ấy. Thèm trà sữa. Thì không, trải nghiệm làm người giàu thì không sướng đâu em. Không chắc trải nghiệm làm người giàu đã sướng đâu em nhé. Anh nói thật sự là như vậy. Hoặc là không thì em định nghĩa cái chữ giàu của em là nó như thế nào? Hmm. Em chẳng nhẽ mình bây giờ mình thôi this livestream is mainly in English, so right now I think I will try to answer some of the question here in English. All right. So for the question of the person who named Chess Cruise Reader, sorry, I don't know. Your name looks English, but you said that we should consider focusing on web or either data structure and algorithm. Where I think that we don't really have the area of like algorithm and data structure. It is just like a subject which gives you the knowledge where which is necessary for other subjects. So let's say if after graduation you want to apply for some job, then you can apply for some web coder, you can apply for some software engineer where you develop some web server, things like that. But there are very few job position which is closely related to data structure and algorithm. So in the long run, when you look for some career, for some good job, then you need to focus more on web than just data structure and algorithm. Okay. Can I resume? Okay. Okay. To be honest, I haven't taken any IR test in the past. I once took the top 4 test. Do you know the top 4 IBT test? And then I got 81 points. The maximum point is 120, and at that test I got 81 points in the top 4 IBT. Do you think Smash is better than Faker? Definitely no. From my point of view, and I think from the perspective of all the fans of T1, then no one thinks that Smash is better than Faker. But I'm not sure what the headquarters of T1 thinks. They may think differently. Okay, and okay, I saw the person Nhân Nguyễn, the person Nhân Nguyễn. The first message he told that this live stream is in English. So who talk in Vietnamese? Just we scan 5,000, and just a few seconds later, they just write something like "nhức rau hoa anh ói." I don't know what it means, but I'm pretty sure that the "nhức rau hoa" is not an English phrase at all. So this message is most likely in Vietnamese. So yeah, I'm really waiting for you for your 5,000 Vietnam Đồng we scan, and I think all the person who are watching here also waiting for that. What project am I currently working on? Where I'm not belong to any company, so I am not a full-time employee anywhere. I just work like a freelancer, and yeah, I'm just a freelancer, and now my main job is giving lecture to students related to algorithm and data structure, competitive programming, and a lot of informatics competitions. Most of the time I just give lecture to high school students who are prepared for national Olympiad, which we call VOI, and this time maybe APIO. Oh wait, so wait 300. Okay, so I'm not working. Oh, okay, yeah, I spend a lot of time developing my YouTube channel, and I consider it my secondary job. Whenever I have free time, I always think of some ideas to create new contents for my channel, and this is kind of the new contents. But yeah, to be honest. This content is for me more than for my audience. Once again, thank you so much for tuning with me, even though that you are not. You have some fun with AI. um, okay. Yeah, this live stream is more for me than for you guys. But once again, thank you so much for all of you guys who are spending time with me here. So you can. Yeah, you can listen. Yeah, so you can listen to me, even though you may not understand a lot of the things. Actually, I have some plans of working with some international person. So I just want to hit up my English skill. Actually, actually for the last for the last couple of years, I do not have many opportunities to travel to other countries. So most of the time, I just speak Vietnamese, and that's why I feel that my English is not so good, and that's why I have several stream here just to try to make my speaking better, make my English better. Okay. Okay, but just kidding. For you guys, I think for you guys, you can chat in Vietnamese. That's fine, except for only one person who is Nhân Nguyễn. If he chat in Vietnamese, which he has already done that, then he has to rescan 5,000 Vietnam đồng. Yeah, I really pin that person in Vietnamese. We call Gim in my mind. So yeah. What is your booking cost? What do you mean, Mr. Nguyen, per 1 billion? What do you mean by my booking cost? Do you have some fun with AI algorithms? Definitely no. Actually, to be honest, some people ask me why I hate AI so much. I had to say just because mostly, I mean, the main reason why I have no fun with AI is that during university, when I was learning some AI courses like AI, machine learning, computer vision, and things like that, I didn't I didn't get the insight of the AI. So that how can I say, when I took the courses related to AI in university, the teacher just showed me some things like, okay, we have this kind of method, we have this kind of algorithm, we have this kind of library, and actually some teacher just did a lot of demo, like, okay, you just run this code and you can find that this code is really very brilliant, they can do wonderful things. But I do not know why, like I didn't know why the algorithm looks like that, why didn't know why people didn't do in other ways, things like that. So so that's why I do not have the fun with AI. And even right now I right now when you see that if you learn competitive programming, or if you learn C++, for example, you learn about every single command in your code. So if you write a piece of code in C++, you know exactly every single line, what it does and what it means. But when I learn AI in university, teacher just say, hey, this you have this library, this tool is very powerful. When you call this function, they can do just very cool things like this. But they do not explain very clearly like how to write such kind of code, and that's why I didn't enjoy that. No, I did. No, I didn't get 9.0 IELTS brand score. Uh, no, 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 no. I think yeah, it is just like 22 minutes. So I can, no, no, I'm not feeling tired or even thirsty right now. I think that I can speak continuously for about 2 hours. No, don't worry. I'm not so tired. I'm not tired at all. I am very, very well right now. Uh, had you experienced OOP? If yes, then how was it? Well, yeah, OOP. You say experience OOP? Do you mean that? Yeah, for sure. I did take a course related to object-oriented programming in university, and yeah, I had to take that course really, really seriously because even though during high school did I did some stuff, some C++ stuff in related to object-oriented programming. So if you know that in C++, we have struct and class. In the struct and class, we have method, functions, and we can define things like private, public, protected. Oh, I don't know. I'm not quite sure if C++ has protected, but yeah, you have that such kind of things: struct, class, private, public, method, things like that. They are all the concept of object-oriented programming. So that's why I during high school I did something related to OOP, but in the university I still had to take that OOP course really, really seriously. Because in order to pass the test, in order to answer the question, I need to learn a lot more. And also in that OOP course, we learn about GAVA, the Java programming language, and that's why. Can you use Ola or English? Okay, so and from my perspective, then object-oriented programming is very interesting. I really enjoy learning and using object-oriented programming in the real work. I had to say that during my first internship at Facebook in 2017, I had okay. So during that internship, I had to do a lot of web coding, both backend stuff and front end stuff. But before I started that internship, I had no experience, no knowledge. I had know nothing about web coding. The only thing I know is about OOP. But then when I start learning web coding at Facebook, I just realized that okay, object-oriented programming is the most important things just to get familiar with web coding. So if you can master the object-oriented programming, if you can know how the struct and class work against each other, work together, then then you can learn web coding really well. Okay, just switch to Vietnamese for a little bit.
VSQ mua tranh 15.000 đồng. Cận cảnh cậu bé bị cyberbully bởi GSPVS.
Okay, I just switched to Vietnamese for just about one or two sentences. Okay, cái mà lập trình hướng đối tượng ấy thì cái mà anh muốn nói ở đây là những cái mà về lập trình hướng đối tượng không phải là chỉ những cái kiểu như là public, private, inheritance, overriding các thứ, nó có nghĩa là gì đâu, mà quan trọng nhất là cái thiết kế. Tức là các bạn không phải hiểu là, tức là cái mà các bạn học được ở trong môn OOP nó không phải là cái hàm này nghĩa là gì, public nghĩa là gì, private nghĩa là gì, hay là protected nghĩa là gì, mà cái là bạn cần phải hỏi là cần phải hiểu được là vì sao người ta làm như thế, vì sao người ta thiết kế ra cái class này, hay là trong một cái hệ thống này vì sao người ta lại thiết kế cái này là public, vì sao cái này thiết kế là private. Cái một trong cái điển hình nhất là cái get set ấy. Cái get set, nếu như các bạn học về get method và set method, nếu như các bạn hiểu được là vì sao người ta phải có cái get set thay vì gắn thẳng trực tiếp biến, là các bạn đã hiểu được ra rất là nhiều những cái vấn đề về nó rồi, hiểu không nhỉ? Đấy, thế thì khi mà cái lúc mà anh học code web ở Facebook ấy, thì trước khi mà anh đi thực tập Facebook là anh không hề biết một tí gì về code web luôn. Nhưng mà sau khi mà anh bắt đầu vào làm ở Facebook năm 2017 thì anh bắt đầu anh mới học code web. Thì khi mà anh học code web ấy, thì anh thì anh học code web thì bắt đầu anh mới hiểu ra là khi mà mình làm chủ cái môn OOP ấy, khi mà mình hiểu được hết tất cả những cái ý nghĩa của cái môn lập trình hướng đối tượng đấy, thì khi mà mình hiểu những cái code base của web rồi mình học code web các thứ nó rất là nhanh. Thế thôi. Okay, so that's finished my Vietnamese part. Yeah, maybe there are some, not something, but a lot of things that I cannot explain clearly and understandable in English, and at each time I will switch back to Vietnamese. That's why I say that this stream is mainly in English, but not 100% in English. No, actually, like, okay, I think that you should learn object-oriented programming in Java, because Java is like I have to say, the most complicated but strict language. Java is a strict and well-structured language. So if you can master Java, you will get familiar and you will learn other programming language very, very quickly. That's why I think that when you learn the concept of object-oriented programming, you should master that with Java as well, so that if you master the OOP with Java, then you can learn all other programming language very much more easily. How do you think about DOP? What do you mean by DOP? I think that's not a common phrase. It's not that's not something special, I think. Okay, just switch back. I don't know if I miss any of the question, but if yes, don't worry, just feel free to spam the message, to copy paste and send the message multiple times, so that I can see and I will answer it later. Once again, thank you so much for all the viewers here. And could you support me by watching an advertisement? Thank you so much, and don't forget to hit the like buttons. Guys, if you are here, hit the like buttons for me, please. Thank you. Các bạn ơi, nhớ bấm cho mình nút like nha. Cảm ơn các bạn rất là nhiều. Yeah, for sure. For sure, this live stream is. I say that this live stream is for me. I make this live stream just to improve my English speaking skill, to give me some opportunities to talk to use English, especially for some academic area, and that's why. And that's why I will. For this live stream, I will speak English to Vietnamese people. To Vietnamese people, and just for other live stream, I think during this week most of the live stream will be in English, but yeah, for sure, for later weeks, then I will switch back to Vietnamese with a lot of cool algorithms and cool things are waiting for you. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to be informed about very cool and interesting stuff related to algorithms and competitions. Thank you so much. You have accents like Indian. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I don't know why you say that. You have accents like Indian. Do you know binary listing on sandwich tree or some kind of that algorithm? Yeah, sure. For sure. I know. Oh, wait. I think I have a video about Fenwichi, and during that video I did present the binary listing on Fenwichi. I think at that point of time I call it binary search on Fenwichi. Yeah, both terms related to the same thing. And let me check where is my video about. Where's my video about Fenwichi? Just give me a second. When was the last time you broke your no fast trick? I don't know it. Okay, give me a second, please. Okay, we got. Okay. I did make two video. I have made two video related to BIT or Fenwictory, but none of them related to the binary lifting technique. Okay, for sure I will. For sure I will do. I will make some video to explain the binary lifting technique in Fenwictory. Maybe in May next month. Because I think this technique is kind of a very advanced technique of BIT, and we rarely use that. And also the key concept of binary lifting is really challenging to understand, as you need to imagine about how every single bits binary bits work, and it's really complicated even to me at the first look. That's why my advice when you learn the binary lifting technique of Fenwictory is learn them by heart. They just have about 3 or 4 lines of code and just learn them by heart instead of asking how it works. It's a little bit difficult, complicated to understand. How do you think about quantitative finance career? Okay, what else? What algorithm do you think that can have the highest probability appearing in the VOI competitive? Well, I think the the algorithm which is most likely to appear in VOI is a sorting algorithm, right? Actually, yeah, for sure, it's dynamic programming. If you are talking about some area of problems, some discipline, then I just say dynamic programming. Well, I I couldn't imagine of a year where VOI has no dynamic programming problems. As I remember, during the 2020 or 2021, the VOI has even like 5 dynamic programming problems out of 6. 5 out of 6 programs were dynamic programming, and I think that it's pretty normal that each year have at least one dynamic programming problems. And the second thing should be the data structure, like symmetry or Fenwictory, things like that, because nowadays when we try to create a new problems, then try to find a brand new problems which involved DP or data structure is much easier than like find a graph problem or things like that. So that's why graph algorithm, number theories, or other things we have less chance to appear than dynamic programming and data structures. You can see that data structures appears almost every VOI in the most 5 or 6 years. What inspired me to do this live stream? Just because I have some work related to English in the future, and that's why I just want to improve my English speaking skill. Do you think that VOI now involves more coding skill? Okay, yeah, I do believe that in recent VOI, I think for this year, the previous year, and even like the 2 years ago, programs requires a lot of coding skill, and I think that's pretty normal, because right now you see that the program normally divide to much more subtasks than before. So during my years, which is like 2014 or 2015, each problem in VOI only has 3 or 4 subtasks, but nowadays you can find a problem with 8 subtasks, which is pretty normal. And also the subtask of problem in VOI in my at my year, like I mean like 10 years ago, problems VOI problem used to have few subtasks, and the larger subtasks should cover the smaller subtasks. So for example, the old VOI style problem should look like this. You have for example, you have a problems where you have a variable n, and the limit of n to get 100% of points each, like 1 million, let's say. Then we have subtask 1, n is less than or equal to 100. Subtask 2, n is less than or equal to 1000. Subtask 3, n is less than or equal to 10 to the power 5, and the last subtask is n is less than or equal to 1 million. So when you solve the later subtask, you will get all the points of the previous subtask. But that is how problem in VOI used to be in the past. Nowadays, problem has much more subtasks, and each subtask is a special case of the main problems. So I had to say, let's say nowadays you can see a three queries problem in VOI. That's normal, right? You in some VOI problems recently, you are given a tree, and then you need to perform several queries on that, and blah blah, and you do blah blah. And for that kind of problem, you had a lot of subtasks. The first subtask is when the number of queries is small. The second subtask is a special case where the tree forms a line. In Vietnamese we say cây có dải đường thẳng. The tree forms a line. The third subtask is like the tree forms a binary tree. The fourth subtask is that all the queries satisfy some special conditions, things like that. And for that kind of subtask nowadays, when you solve one subtask, you just get the point of this subtask, but not the point of any other subtask, because each subtask is an independent case. It's a separate case of the main problems, and that's why nowadays all the problems seems in VOI you seems need to do a lot of coding during that 3 hours. So yeah, nowadays for VOI contestant, the coding skill is much more important than during my years. And also, as I say before, the data structure is one of the very hot topic in VOI, which means that you are very likely to see data structure processing queries problems in VOI, which means that such kind of problem involves a lot of coding. The model solution, the solution which get perfect score, may need 300 lines of code. That's normal nowadays. As you see, you can find the second days of this year VOI, the fourth, fifth, and sixth problem, or are the query problems with data structure and stuff, which means that the model solution should have about 200 to 300 lines of code. Yeah, that's the thing like that. Okay. What do you think about the upcoming VOI Vietnamese Olympiad in AI? What? No. The AI competition is a separate things. It has nothing to do with the normal VOI we are talking about. So yeah, the Vietnamese Olympiad related to artificial intelligence is another competition, and the Vietnamese Olympiad. Okay, yeah, this is like VOAI.
Sa kem lưng đứng trên chân Hà giúp GSPVSQ mua chanh 10.000 đồng. Trăng lên đỉnh núi trăng mờ, anh cho em hỏi mấy giờ ăn cơm?
Okay, thank you for your donation. I think yeah, you should eat. You should have a meal in about 2 hours. So I think the best time to eat during a day is 12 o'clock at midnight. Thank you for your donation once again. Nói tiếng Việt đi, anh em donate 100k rồi đấy nhá. Câu này là tiếng Việt rồi nhá. Em donate 100k đi bạn Bảo Đạn ơi. Okay, some other question is how do you think about programming competition is less attractive nowadays due to AI? The question comes from a person named Ý Nguyễn Thành. Well, I don't think so, because right now the programming competition, which means like CP, like Olympiad, VOI, and things like that, offers a lot of benefits. So, for example, if you got a prize in VOI, you can get automatic admissions to university, right? And this is a very, very important benefit that the AI competition do not have that one. And also, if you see in specialized school, informatics specialized in during high school, then all people learns about C++, algorithm, and very few people learns AI. So I would say in if you say that in the whole country, in whole country, then yeah, I agree that. High school students right now, more and more high school students pay attention to AI. But I think that in high school, in Vietnamese we call trường chuyên in high school, and for informatics specialized student, they still focus on learning algorithm, C++, and doing competitive programming, just because this is the main course, this is the main things they learn at school. So from my point of view, AI cannot solve many of the competitive programming problems. So that's why no matter how AI be strong, even though they can be strong as today, or like 2 times like today's, or even better, then competitive programming will be still very attractive. And if you see some Olympic, for example, the one in March, the Hue ICTC challenge. I think some of you guys here know about that. Then then in Hue ICTC challenge, or how can I translate that? Olympic miền Trung Tây Nguyên. Then in that competition, the numbers of students participate in the competitive programming league are still increasing, and more students compete this year than last year, which means that competitive programming is still very attractive, important, and valuable to high school students. Do you teach this summer training camp in any province? I think yes. As far as I know, in June we will have some summer training camp in Nam Định for northern students, and at the beginning of July there will be another summer training camp in somewhere just for for Central and Highland students. Okay. What else? Olympic mean Middle West Intention. Okay. Middle West Intention. Okay, let me check what Tây Nguyên means in English. So I know it's like Central Highland or things. Okay, yeah, Central Highlands for sure. Okay, yeah, Tây Nguyên means Central Highlands, not West Integer. Wait, can you try the automatic generated Vietnamese caption of YouTube? As far as I know, the YouTube has the functionality of giving caption, like automatically generate the caption when watching a video. Can you try that one? What is your thought about recently post on CodeForce about exposing a Vietnamese using AI to get red title? Okay, let me see what kind of blog was that. Okay, just move up for some previously asked question. What's this? Okay, I found some question like in your opinion, what's the difference between pure math problems and coding problem, especially in approach, method, and thinking? Well, I really hate pure math problems. And do you know that the main difference between a programming problems and a pure math problem is that for pure math you just try to find the solution by only inference. So you have some observation and you use some logical inference. Okay, what is the word suy luận in English? I need to look up dictionary. Okay, the word suy luận is infer and inference. Yeah, okay. So for pure math problems, you find the solution basically on logical inference. But for coding problems and programming problems, you try to find the solution by utilizing the strength of computing. So for human, you cannot make a lot of computing in 1 second, right? You cannot make any math computation in 1 second. But for computers, it can do 1 billion computations in 1 second, right? And that's why the coding problems and programming problem solution should be like you iterate over all of the things. You should try all the possible cases, things like that. But for pure math problems, you just try to find problems on the paper. And and actually there are few signs that you can determine if a problem is pure math or not. Most pure math problems related to game theory and geometry. I think most geometry problem involve a lot of math inferring. So you need to work a lot on the paper. You need to write a lot, draft a lot, so that you can find some cool observation. Then you can write it in your code. And also for game theory, so if you see a problems where there is a game and the two players play a game, things like that, then most game theory problems are pure math problems, because when you want to find the optimal strategy of two players or the result of the game and other stuff, you need to do it on the paper instead of doing on the computers. Yeah, for some basic game theory problems, you will solve it by dynamic programming or even like Spark Randy. But no, for Spark and Randy problem, you still need to do a lot of thing on the paper. You need to use a lot of math to do that. So yeah, for some and also for some counting problems, counting and combinatory problems are pure math, right? Okay, so go back to the post about using AI to get red. I don't know what that post. Can you give me the link? The very first red LRM cheaters. Okay, yeah. Let me introduce to you Lê Quốc Trần 181 Legend coding a shining sign correcting from National Economics. Okay, but to be honest, right now I think that Codefort is just the place for you to practice and training and getting better. I had to say that when I was in high school, which means like 10 years ago, well, code force is some very cool stuff. So if 10 years ago you told someone else that, hey, I got grandmaster on code force when I got red on code force, then yeah, okay, you are very you are on top, you are some of the best programmers in Vietnam and things like that, and people spend a lot of respect on you. But that is the story in the past. Nowadays, if someone just tell me that they got red on Codeforce, it's just really normal things. Even though they do they do not violate the rules, they can even though if one person do only the right things, they do the contest on their own and then they got red on Codeforce. I don't really appreciate that, because right now you can you can just solve simple problems, or like you solve some very easy problems of some contest very quickly, then you can got the red. And also right now the number of red account on Codeforce is increasing rapidly. So I had to say, during my time in the whole server of Codeforce, there were only 200 red account on Codeforce. But right now, the number of active account on Codeforce, which is Grandmaster or higher, which is about around 1,000. 1,000 person got red on Codeforce, which means that yeah, red Codeforce is not some really cool stuff than it was before. So that's why if I want to know a person is good at CP or not, then I just look at their result, their performance on official competitions like VOI, IOI, ICPC, and things like that. So yeah, I do not care about Codeforce rating anymore. Codeforce is just a good place for you to practice and get better, but the rating of Codeforce is not something really cool right nowadays. So if you want to prove yourself to be a good person, just do something good in the official competition. Where actually the blog was pretty long, and also the thing is, like, the blog involved a lot of content which is written in Vietnamese. So I don't think that Codeforce is a good way for them to expose. If you want to expose that cheater, then you should expose on VNOI and other forum where people speak Vietnamese, because yeah, a lot of materials here are in Vietnamese. So okay, it's really pretty long, and so. Okay, just forget that that guy using AI. Can I speak Vietnamese? For sure, yes. Okay. Do you think that doing too much virtual contest can hinder people progress because they don't do the hard problem? Yes, for sure. I completely agree with this opinion. So doing virtual contest is important, but it's not that important. And whenever you try to do the virtual contest, it is doing the virtual contest is for improving your strategy. So for example, when you learn at school, when you try to solve problems by doing the practice or solving problem at contest, this is for improving your coding skill and algorithmic skill. But doing virtual contest, which means that you try to solve this set of problem in a timing pressure in just like 2 or 3 hours or things like that, is for improving the strategy, improving your strategy. So that's why doing virtual contest is only good for you if the format of that contest match the format of the contest you are aiming for. So let's say if you are a person who are training for Vietnamese National Olympiad of Informatics, VOI, then doing Codeforce virtual contest has nothing to do with that. It will not make you better at all. Instead, you need to do virtual VOI contest. Okay, so let's say if you are preparing for VOI, you take the set of VOI problem on the past. So let's say you try to solve the VOI problems of 2 years ago on your own, and you try to solve as much things as you can in 3 hours, so that you can improve your strategy. You will know that, okay, inside 3 hours, you can how to divide the 3 hours in a good way. So how much time you should spend on coding, how much time you should spend on writing tests, on writing brute force solution, things like that. So if you are aiming for VOI, you can do virtual VOI past contest. And for the same thing, if your teams, you and your teams are preparing for the ICPC, you can try to find any set of ICPC problems. So let's say you can go to Code for Team to look for some ICPC problems in the past, and then you try to do it virtually, which means that you do it consecutively in 5 hours. This is very good for you, so that you can find the optimal strategy for you during the contest. You should know how to do together. How do I say phối hợp in English? How to divide your 5 hours, how to work together, get well. So that is the advantage of doing virtual contests. But doing virtual contests should not be 100% of your time. And after you doing a virtual contest, no matter what is ICPC or VOI, you need to solve all the problems. So let's say if you do a virtual contest, a VOI, and during that virtual contest, you can just solve several subtasks to see how much point you can gain during that 3 hours. But after that 3 hours end, for all the problems you couldn't solve for 100% of points. You need to spend more time working on that to find the solution and try to code the optimal solution, things like that. So solving after doing virtual contests is very important, and it's even more important than just doing virtual contests. For ICPC, the same story happens. You only need, I think, two to three virtual contests per week is really much, and all other time should be spent on solving the problem you could not solve during that 5 hours. Infamous question: CP versus chess. Can the people in other country understand what you say? I'm really curious if they can understand, because my English level is like you. Well, I had to say, from all my past experience of using English, communicating and working with people from other countries, then most of the time I have no problem with that. I worked with people from a lot of European countries. I work with some people from India, Singapore, and a lot of countries when I was in Google and Facebook, and I found no issues. So yeah, I had to say that during that point of time, when I spent 3 or 4 months living in Europe, then my English was better than this, because I use English almost every day. But for today, I just talk English for like the first time in a year, things like that. So yeah, at that point of time, my English was better. But I had to say that the more confidence, the more the more fluent your English is. So try to speak it confidently, then other people will understand what you say. Yeah. What do you mean by the last 10 minutes? I think I can speak for a little bit more. Can anyone gain the score that is more than 30 in VOI contest? For sure, yes. It's happened a lot of time in the past, and actually I know some person who got perfect score in VOI, who got 40 points in VOI. One person which is 1 year older than me, he got 40 points in VOI. And actually during my time, I had to say that for the reason VOI, it is really challenging to get 30 points on VOI, because problems nowadays are much more difficult, and it involves much more skill, algorithm, and things like that. So nowadays it is pretty hard for you to get 30 points in VOI, but but for 10 years ago, that is completely normal. And also there used to be a rules in the past that you can only get first prize if you get 30 or higher, 30 or more points. So for example, and that rule applies to all other subjects, even not only for informatics but for national olympiad in mathematics, physics, chemistry. Once in the past they had a rules that you can only get first prize if you get more than or equal to 30 points. And that's why when I was in 2015, I got 29.54. Yeah. When I was in the 12th grade, my last time in VOI, I got 29.54 points, which is less than 30. So I got second prize, not third prize. And also in that year, in the national mathematics Olympiad, I got there were only one first prize. Nowadays, you know that the number of first prize is proportional to the number of students, right? So that is like I don't know how many percent the exact rate, but it's kind of like 5% of contestant get first prize. So nowadays the rule is like the top 5% of student, top highest 5% of student will get the first prize, no matters how many points they get. But in the past you need to earn 30 or more points to get the first prize. That's why in 2015 for the national mathematics Olympiads there was only one first prize, because at that point of time only one person can get more than 30 points. Can you listen to Indian Asians? I had to say, no. Actually, it depends. I remember during my second internship at Facebook, my roommates was an Indian guys. So we stay in an apartment for 3 months, and I think that his accent is really really easy to understand, and for sure we understand almost 100% of things we talk to each other. And it really depends. When I was at Google 1 year later, my mentor, manager, or how can I say, boss? No, I think my mentor was Indian, but his answers was like really challenging to understand. So even for like Indians, it really depends on person. Some persons speak really easy to hear, but for other, it is really challenging to understand. But I had to say, if you want to find some country where they speak where their English very hard to understand, I would say France. France, I have for like about 9/10 French person I have seen in the past. Their English was like weird and and really difficult to figure it out what they say. So if you try to improve your English listening skill, try to listen to some French guy who speak English. Why don't you like work as software engineer at Google? Oh, right, the main reason is that because the working location is very far from my hometown, and I would say that spending 3 or 4 months for an internship in Google is pretty cool. It is like an adventure. It is like an experience where you learn new things, where you enjoy new things, and it will be really, really exciting and interesting. But spending but like spending 1 year or like staying every day in a country which is not your hometown is a completely different story, because yeah, the environment, the lifestyle, culture of other country is not as familiar as Vietnam. So for me, staying and working in Vietnam is always the best choice for long term. So I didn't want to stay like stay in some other country for years. No, I don't think I don't like that at all. And one other thing is that when I got the full time offer in at Google, it was the time when COVID-19 happened, which means that lockdown was everywhere, and actually I tried to complete my visa application. I did submit. I did go to the embassy or things like that to submit my visa application, but I got rejected for 2 times due to some reason, and then I did wait for 2 years before canceling my offer at Google, just because I feel like it is too much and it no longer be interesting for me. Um, okay, can you do for 3 months? For 3 months, is that enough for 3 months for one person from nothing to a VO for a contestant of VOI? Well, I think it's really too much. But what do you mean by one student from nothing? What do you mean by nothing? If nothing means that they didn't know how to code, they didn't know what programming is, they didn't know what is C++, for loop, things like that, and I would say yeah, it's really, really hard, because even when you even getting familiar with programming, getting familiar with coding and understand what coding is, take you about 1 month to do that. You cannot get familiar with. You cannot say like, hey, today I haven't done any stuff with coding, but tomorrow I can code really well. No, it's not possible at all. So I would say that if you have no, if you know nothing related to coding, then 3 months is not enough for you to become a contestant of VOI. You need to spend more times, and even like learning algorithm. If you do not know any basic stuff of algorithm, which is time complexity, space complexity, yeah, if you haven't learned about basic algorithm like backtracking, sorting, you haven't done any problems with dynamic programming, then I also think that 3 months is not enough for you. uh, then why don't you work as software engineer now in Vietnam? Hmm. Have you tried any other things in IT major contests like capture the flags from cybersecurity hackathon, normal, and AI? Okay, for sure I haven't done anything with AI. For hackathon, that I did some hackathon in the past during my internship in Google and Facebook. For capture the flag, I haven't done anything, but for sure I I believe that capture the flag or the CTF is very interesting things to learn, and also that if you are interested in competitive programming, if you enjoy solving a problem in algorithm and data structure, then you should try capture the flag, and some cybersecurity. Yeah, I think that cybersecurity is more related to competitive programming, data structure, and algorithm than artificial intelligence. Yeah, so If one day I have the chance to try some capture the flag problems or try to learn something about cybersecurity, then I will do that. Oh, actually, I did take some course of cybersecurity and crypto and some other things in during university, and I really like what I learned from that courses. No, I don't think so. Yet, yeah, as I say, I haven't done any IELTS tests before, so I don't really know my exact band. I did when I was in the first year of university. I did take the TOEFL IBT test, TOEFL internet based test, and I got 81 over 120 points. But during that point of time, my speaking point was like terrible. How many points I get at that point, I don't remember. Oh, I think it was 16 over 30. Okay, so for the TOEFL IBT test, you got 4 skill, and the maximum score for each skill is 30, and for speaking, I got 16 over 30 points, which is kind of a terrible score. Um, so I don't know my current band right now, but I haven't taken any course to learn about the IELTS test. So I think if tomorrow I come to some British council location and try to take an IELTS test, then my score will be terrible. Okay, well, then why don't you work as a software engineer right now in Vietnam? I have wondered this for a while. Um, there for me, teaching is much more interesting than doing software engineer, because if as you are a full-time employee of software engineering or some IT company, you just come to the same place for days, from day to day. So if you work 5 days per week, then for the whole 5 days, then you will stay at the same place, work in the same place from time to time, which is not as interesting as teaching for teachings like me, and especially if you teaching for summer camp and you teaching for high school student, then you can go from province to province every year. And so this week I will teach at this school at this province, but for the next month, I will go to other location. I meet new people and see other country as well. And for me, the traveling and visiting place is one of my hobbies, and that's why I really enjoy teachings, because when I choose to teach high school student, I have the chance to fly 50 times per week. Yeah, every year I get on planes about 50 times. But if I just do software engineer or some other job, when I apply for companies, I just work in the same place from days to days, and for me that is not interesting. Let's try calculating power of 2 in English with your Vietnamese speaking. I try calculating the power. Yeah, 50 times per week is crazy, but yeah, for me, I love flying. I really love flying, because flying is not like getting on a car. When you getting on a car to move from place to place, is car is just like a vehicle, and you just like moving from one place to another place. But for flying, you are not going from one city or one province to another place, to another city or province. You just enjoy a new country, and even your experience on the flight is something like you learn new thing from learn new cultural things. So for example, when I get on the plane, I can watch some movies related to some culture and some cultural things in Vietnam, and I really love that. uh, can you do British? British accent for me. I don't know. I have only one accent, so I don't know what British accent is. Um, Oh, actually, if you listen to some Vietnamese people speaking English, then you will think that you will think that it is really easy to understand. I believe so. So because we are all Vietnamese, so our accent has something similar, and that's why. Even though I am speaking English, but you are Vietnamese, you're listening to me, you will find that really easy to understand. But if some people from other country, they may not find we speak English easy to understand, and when we listen to some foreigners speaking English, especially when I listen to some Korean or Japanese people speaking English, it is a nightmare for me, completely nightmare. For most of Japanese person, I cannot understand their English. So yeah, because we are from the same country, we have something similar. We are our accents are pretty much no, our accent may not the same, but yeah, we still find our English easy to understand. Okay, so do the school sponsor you with short traveling fee? Well, it's really hard to to answer it clearly, but yeah, for sure when I try to teach at some place, then yeah, I need to calculate about the money, right? The money is the most important thing that I need to put it in consideration. So in some way I just calculate like I got that amount of money, is that enough for me to cover my ticket for myself, then I just agree with that. So yeah, for some school they do not officially cover the traveling fee, but if I see that the amount of money I get is enough for me to cover it myself, then I just go for it. Okay, what else? I have no basic algorithm like binary search, DFS, BFS, basic DP, and symmetry. Is 6 months enough to become a VOI contestant? Um, okay. I think 6 months is enough. Yeah, 6 months is enough for you to learn things. Oh, I had to say, if you know segment tree, it is not basic algorithm at all. Um, Basic algorithm means like binary search, shorting, and maybe divide and no divide and conquer. What I mean, two pointers, and maybe some basic DP stuff, DFS, BFS, these extra things. 7 tree is something a little bit advanced. Yes, 6 months is enough for you to become a VOI contestant. For sure, but you should take into account the issues that you cannot have 6 months completely free, because for example, you will have the team selection test for VOI in let's say September or October. So which means that from now until the team selection contest for VOI begins, you have 6 more months. But during 6 more months, for the summer vacation, which is like the end of May, June, July, and the beginning of August, you may be free. You may be completely free. You do not need to go to school. You do not need to do any exercise from your teachers. So you can spend your whole time for competitive programming if you like. But for, let's say, for this amount of time, the school year has not done yet, and you may need to prepare for your final semester exam, which means that even though from now you have 6 months until your very important competition to become a VOI contestant, you cannot spend your whole 6 months just for learning an algorithm, because you only have about 3 months of summer vacation, which is completely free, and for other 3 months you will be distracted of things on your classes, like other subject. You need to prepare for final semester, which is also very very important, and also yeah, you need to take class, and teacher will give you exercise. That is more than normal things, right? So 6 months is enough for you to be a contestant. I wish you good luck, and I wish you will be a real VOI contestant. But please be aware that your 6 months will be distracted, partly because of other stuff. Okay, I started. Can you please teach us? These I said. Oh really? How? What? Which school? Which school are you in right now? Which school are you in? From I think that the DSU or this you said it's something like I say in the Vietnamese like cái thứ ở trong sách giáo khoa ấy. Which means that this is something that most teacher will give you in will teach you in class. So I don't have a plan of making a video related to this joy set because I think that most teacher in most high school will teach you this joy set, and for the this joy set there are not much thing to say about because yeah, it's just like a fixed line of code. You have the find function, find or get parent or things like that, and you have the join function. For 100% of problems where you need to use this join set, you will write the same amount of code. You do not need to change things to adapt from problems to problems. That's why for me this join set is something you can learn from your teacher at school, and you just learn them by heart, the few lines of code. And for all the problem which you need to use this set, you just write this type of code from time to time. Um, how to become GS PVS? Yeah, it's not possible to become GS PVS at all. uh, She saw Sharif's shoes on the sofa, but was she so sure those were Sharif's shoes? Yeah, I know this sentence, or I know some of similar version of this sentence. She saw Sharif's shoes on the sofa, but was she so sure those were Sharif's shoes she saw? Actually, when I speak English, I cannot pronounce correctly the sh and s. Yeah, it's because when I speak Vietnamese, I consider sh and s the same. So when I speak English, I sometimes misleading the two sounds. Okay, she saw Sharif. She's she saw Sharif's shoes on the sofa, but was she so sure? So sure those were Sharif's shoes on the she saw. Okay. Yeah, that's very nice and interesting sentence. Okay, if I don't have an IELTS certificate, can I still pass the coding interview if I fluently speak? Yes, I believe that most companies right now, nowadays do not require you to have an IELTS certificate. Yeah, so yeah, taking IELTS test is really expensive, right? Even the fee for taking one IELTS test is about 4.5 million, 4,500,000 Vietnam dong, which is super high. And also that when you take just only one test, it doesn't guarantee that you will get your aiming score. So sometimes you will need to take the test again and again, which means that you need to pay 2 or 3 times of that 4.5 million Vietnam dongs, which means that the amount of money you need to spend just on just on the contest fee is huge. And even though that when you want to be ready for the IELTS test, you need to take a course. For sure, how can you just take the IELTS test without take learning or preparing or taking some classes of IELTS before? And that's why the cost of taking IELTS test is really high. And I believe nowadays most companies does not require you to have an IELTS certificate. Oh, I mean like IT companies, they will interview you in person. So they so even like in a big tech company, when I were applying to Facebook and Google, they didn't ask me for any IELTS test. Yeah, for sure, I didn't have such kind of IELTS test to show them. And just during the interview, they tried to test my English. If the interviewer feel that my English is fluent enough, then I will pass the interview. So yeah, so don't worry. So don't worry for that. Just prepare for the coding interview, and then you will pass the test. No need for an IELTS. How many hours do I sleep per day? I think. How many hours do I sleep a day? I guess it depends from day to day, but I try to sleep 7 hours per day in average. So for today, how to say? Yeah, today is my free day. So today I slept for like 9 hours. Even yesterday was on holiday, and I didn't go out I didn't go out, and that's why I spent 10 to 11 hours for sleeping. That is today and yesterday. Yes, and for some day, if I stay away from work, then it is completely normal for me to spend 12 hours sleeping. But if for some other days I will spend very little time sleeping. For example, if I have a very early flight in the morning, then I need to wake up at like 4 or 5 a.m. Then on that day I will sleep for about 5-6 hours. And for some other important day for me, I think during the year, the day I sleep least is the day when we have the ICPC regional contest. During the day when the ICPC regional contest takes place, I sleep for about only 4 hours, because I need to wake up like 5 a.m. in the morning, and then I take care of the whole 5-hour competition. After that, I need to prepare for the prize awarding ceremony, things like that, and then I go back home at like 10 p.m. So like I work from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Then I have no time for sleeping, and for that day, sleeping 4 hours for me is enough. But in general, I try to sleep for 7 hours per day in average. Yeah, thank you for okay. Thank you for having me training listening skill. Thank you too for giving me this opportunity to train my speaking skill. Okay. Thank you all the people who are still here and listening to me. Okay. Did you have an IELTS certificate? No, for sure no. Can you teach matrix multiplication? Oh yeah, I had a lot of video related to matrix multiplication. So yeah, you should go ahead and watch my video. I think that all the important contents for matrix multiplication I have made in my previous video. So just watch all these 3 videos for me. Or let me see the link. Nhìn mai trận chúng ta. Okay, so yeah, this is my video about matrix multiplication. Okay, for matrix multiplication, then it is here. And also what else? Yeah, one other videos about dynamic programming with matrix multiplication. I think
Okay.
this one is also a very important things. This is the second thing related to matrix multiplication. And what is the last video? Let's say, what's that? Okay, this one is for debugging. Yeah, debugging the matrix multiplication, also very important. So for you guys, if you want to learn and know more insight about matrix multiplication, just what or three video. What Thai accent? No, for sure it's not Thai accent at all. No. I watch all your videos even while sleeping. I just want to say good work and keep going. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Can you teach Lee Chao tree? No. I think I will. I think in the future I will make a video related to convex full trick. In Vietnamese we call quy hoạt động bao lồi hoặc là cấu trúc dữ liệu bao lồi cái gì đấy. Okay, so I think I will. I think the convex full trick is some important stuff, but it's a little bit advanced. So if you are preparing for TSD team selection test, so which means that you are the one in the top 33 of VOI, then you need to pay attention to convex hull trick. But if you just aiming for prize at the national Olympiad, let's say if you just won for third prize or even second prize, you don't need to learn convex hull trick. Just focus on other things, because the convex hull trick involves a little bit of geometry, mathematics, and also the thing is that coding or implementing the convex hull trick during 3 hours of VOI is a little bit dangerous and challenging. So that's why I had to say, if you just want to get a prize in the National Olympiad of Informatics VOI, then you don't need to pay attention to convex hull, and you just skip all the things of convex hull trick. That's all. And for Lee Chao tree, it's just like the crazy version of convex hull trick. So, and for me, even for me right now, I haven't solved any problem related to Lee Chao tree. I know how to determine if a problem requires Lee Chao tree or not. Let's say it's really easy for you to know if a problem requires Lee Chao tree, and if you find that kind of problems, just skip it, throw it away, and try to solve other problems. So even for me right now, I feel that knowing convex hull trick is important, but Lee Chao tree, no, it's not important at all. If you are aiming for ICPC and if you are aiming for ICPC, then yes, you should learn convex hull trick, but Lee Chao tree, no, not at all. Wait. Yeah, I agree that I am the one with high source of energy. I always feel a lot of energy inside my body. Yeah, that's true. For sure, I got 90 kilos. my weight is really heavy. So yeah, for sure, I have a lot of energy inside my body. So it's pretty normal that if you feel that I am an energetic man, I have a lot of energy. That's true. If there is a problem with an article, you should follow the question or test. What do you mean? If there is a problem with an article, you should follow the question or test. Example. What do you mean? No. Wait. I don't get what you mean. Okay, maybe may I be away for a few seconds to just drink a little bit of water, and I will be back soon. Okay, just 30 seconds. Can you teach me how to make a cup of bubble tea with burnet and coconut cream? Yeah. If I can make bubble tea with burnet coconut cream, then I will no longer teaching algorithms, because selling bubble teas, I believe selling bubble teas make much more money than just teaching algorithm. Okay, if the problem statement has some conflict with the sample, then what we should follow? Well, it is this is a really hard question to just to say, because yeah, when you find the problem statement which is conflict with the statement which the sample test case, which means that's something wrong, something is wrong, right? Because and we just hope we just hope that the competition doesn't have such things appear, but yeah, to be honest, I don't know for sure. Literally, theoretically, if the sample test case does not follow what stated in the problem statement, you need to follow the problem statement. That is theoretically, or in Vietnamese we call về lý thuyết. Về lý thuyết mà nói, nếu đề với test mà sai thì thường là sẽ đi theo đề. But to be honest, that is like theoretically, but in reality, I don't know for sure. Let's say you say the problem 2 during the Olympiad 30 tháng 4 gì đó, dịch chả biết dịch là cái gì ta. Olympic of 30 of April. Okay, so for that problem second related to the tree, I believe that if when I read the problem, when I find that the sample test case does not follow the problem statement, then what I think is like the statement is wrong. So if I were a contestant of the competition in that Saturday, I will follow the sample test case. So I will think that the cost was like a normal integer, and the concept of taking modulo 2 to the power of 20 does not exist, and I just follow the sample test case. That is the case of the problem 2 from the most recent contest. If I were a contestant, if I were in the contest hall, then I will follow the sample test case, because I feel like the sample test case should be like more solvable than the problem statement. But yeah, it's really hard to say, because that is something wrong, and the only thing we say that hopefully such thing does not appear in any contest. I want to register for your courses about data structure and algorithm. The question from Quân Vũ Đình. Thôi hỏi tiếng Việt thì em đang học lớp nào? Em đang học lớp nào hay ở trường nào á? Tiếng Anh thì tiếng Việt sáng hẳn không có vụ đấy đâu, nhưng mà thôi thỉnh thoảng thì chuyển đổi tí được. Okay, one say, did you have high GPA and many projects to pass the CV screening round at Google? So I have to say, when I was applying for internship at Facebook and Google, I had nothing in my CV. Okay, so when I was applying for Google, because at the time I sent the CV to Google, I already finished the the internship, my two internship at Facebook. So I have some working project to share in the CV applying for Google. But when I was applying for the Facebook internship in 2017, I had nothing. I had nothing inside in my CV except for competitive programming performance. So that's why applying for internship at Google and Facebook. Technically, I didn't have any working experience, and I don't think that GPA is an important factor. Most of the time, when you apply for software engineering at Facebook, Google, and other big tech companies, they do not really care about your GPA, especially when you are studying in Vietnam. Yeah, because university in Vietnam do not have a very high ranking in the global university ranking. So and even if you study in US or any top university at school and top university, then you don't really need to then I mean that when you applying to a company, the GPA is not an important factor at all. Working experience is a very important factor. So if you have any working project in the past, including, let's say, open source project, or if you had worked in any programming before, in any company before, this kind of working experience is very important. And when you put it on your CV, you will have higher chance to pass the screening round at companies. But at that point of times when I was applying for the internship, I didn't had any experience at all. So I just put my IOI medalist, my code force rating, and all other prize I got related to competitive programming, and I luckily passed that test. But for you, you should better, especially if you don't have IOI, ICPC World Finals, and other international prize, then you should have working experience before applying to Google and Facebook. If two provinces get to TSD, ví dụ thi đội tuyển quốc gia hai thời điểm khác nhau và mình tạch xong chuyển trường thì có được thi lần hai không? Chắc chắn là không. Em hiểu chuyển trường nó đâu có dễ đâu, em phải chuyển trường như kiểu như là hôm nay học chỗ này, mai học chỗ khác, xong rồi ấy chuyển trường thì nó có nhiều thủ tục dài dòng lắm. Kể cả em muốn chuyển trường, em có khi em mất cả tháng làm xong thủ tục thì mới hết, chứ đâu phải chuyển trường là hôm nay em đi vào trường này thì em bảo em là học sinh trường này, ngày mai em bước chân vào trường khác em bảo em là học sinh trường khác, này lấy đâu ra cái món đấy. Cho nên là nói chuyển trường nó không đơn giản như vậy đâu, và đương nhiên là không dễ để mà em có thể làm việc đấy. Thực ra là trong quá khứ là hình như đã có người làm cái đấy rồi, nhưng mà nó phải rất là khéo ấy, nó mới làm được. Kiểu nhất là các cái tỉnh mà kiểu vừa có trường chuyên tỉnh vừa có trường chuyên đại học thì hình như anh biết là có người làm cái kiểu đấy ấy. Kiểu như là ví dụ có những tỉnh như là Nghệ An, hay là Nghệ An là vừa có trường chuyên của sở là chuyên Văn Bội Châu, xong rồi vừa có trường chuyên của Đại học Vinh là trường của Đại học Quốc gia, thì hình như là có cái kiểu là tạch một trường thì chuyển trường thì thật nhanh để sang thị trường khác. Thì hình như anh biết là cái đấy có, nhưng mà còn nói chung là đa phần các trường thì em không thể làm cái việc đấy đâu, bởi vì cái việc chuyển trường nó phức tạp lắm. Và chưa kể là em chắc gì em đã được nhận một trường khác để mà em để mà em thi lần hai, vì là em muốn được nhận vào một trường em phải thi vào, em phải vào bài tuyển sinh từ lớp 10, chứ còn em tự nhiên từ lớp 11 nhảy bộ phát vào trường ngay cho. Thôi chuyển sang tiếng Anh tiếp đi. When we are release the second part about DP Bismask, I think next week. Yeah, next week. For the great sleeping 8 hours per day, is that enough? Well, it will be better if you can make it 7 hours per week. Oh, sorry, 7 hours per day. Yeah, sorry, sleeping 7 hours per day is better than sleeping 6 hours per day. So yeah, and I believe that if you are in the grade 10s, which means that you do not have very important competitions, then yeah, it is is it possible for you to spend 7 hours sleeping per day? So try to sleep 7 to 8 hour per day in average. Yeah. Yeah, because this live stream is mostly in English. Yeah, I just want to practice my English, and that's why a lot of comments here are in English. Yeah, you can rewind to watch the previous part of live stream, and this is like a talk show with in English, mostly in English. Mm. But I must go back. Okay, okay, yeah, but this sentence grammar is a little bit it's a little bit funny. So it should be I must go to bed now because of sleeping 7 hours per day. Yeah. Okay. Enjoy. Good night to you. Okay. Sorry. 7 hours per day doesn't have the plural on the days. How can I edit? Is that able to edit the message or no? All right. Actually, today the content I want to do today is solving some how can I say solving some lead code problems. I think in the past we have talked about the lead code website before, and I say that even though right now I feel like nowadays the lead code website looks much more like a competitive programming online church. It is similar to like Codeforce, Catis, and other things like VNOJ, things like that. So the problems in lead code nowadays looks more like a competitive programming problems, which means that they have the exact constraints. They have the constraint, the limit, and the judging system use test cases for any competitive programming system. But lead code is the website for doing interview, and especially if you try to pass some coding interview, you should try to solve the problem on lead code, and not only try meanings not only like having a right code, getting accepted, pass all the test cases, but you also need to present the solution. So which means that when you try to solve the problem, try to present the solution to yourself, just like speaking out loud, and try to feel if the solution is logical and your presentation is fluent enough. And I also want to try to present some solution of some problem on lead code, but I think I need to do it tomorrow, because today is too late right now. It is already 11 o'clock. So yeah, I think tomorrow I will have another English content, and I will focus on solving lead code problems with presenting the solution. I will present the solution of some, I think, some pretty simple problems from recently contest. But yeah, so just to once again training my English. Okay, I just see if any question. Yeah, I just want to practice with lead code today, but yeah, we have a lot of questions and a lot of chatting so far, so I just put leave it tomorrow. Okay, so this is the, oh my god, why in a competitive programming website then you have an advertisement about free chat GPT. Oh my god, why shouldn't you do that? But yeah, this is some problem from the lead code website, and if you are trying to apply into some companies, when you need to pass some coding interview, then try the lead code website, try to explore and try to solve the problems. I believe that for actually for weekly contest, so for example, for this weekly contest there was 4 problems, right? And I think that the problems presented during a coding interview is just like an easy one on the medium one. You rarely get a hard one like the question 3 and 4. You just get like the first and the second problems. So that's why in a coding interview, solving the problem is much easier than presenting your idea fluently. And as I say that, nowadays the problems on lead code, they have the exact constraint like this. So for example, you are given this problem, you are given an array of integers, and the constraint is like the number of integer is at most 50, and the value of each integer is between minus 100 and 100 inclusive. And this is the exact constraint nowadays. I believe back to the time when I was preparing for the Facebook interview, I did try the lead code contest, but the problems there had no constraint, which means that this is the exact things happen in a coding interviews, which is that the interviewer give you some problems and you try to develop a solution, you try to present some ideas and some algorithm with as much complexity as possible. So for example, if a problem can be solved in on time complexity, and you just present an on square time complexity, then the interviewer will ask you to do something better. But if you cannot find the optimal algorithm of time complexity on, you still have some point. And if you present your n squared solution fluently, then you are still appreciated by the interviewer. Things like that. But yeah, nowadays we have the exact constraints on the lead code problems, which means that you are easier to figure out the optimal solution. Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for you guys who are helping me training my English today. And yeah, I know that my English is not so good, but for tomorrow and for other stream, I hopefully that my English will be better. And if you can, then tomorrow we will be back, and I try to present the solution of some lead code problem. I think it's still useful for you guys, especially the one who are looking for interviews and applying for jobs in companies. So once again, thank you for today. Hope to see all you guys tomorrow. Thank you and goodbye. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye bye. Tôi chào mọi người nhé. Tôi mình nghỉ đây.